Hi. Hi. I don't know what's going on, but I keep getting this weird head cold. You can probably hear that my voice is really different than in other videos. I think it's just because it's hot everywhere in the world right now, at least on this side of the hemisphere. And so you have the AC on, and even if you don't have an AC on, you have a fan on. And in general, I don't really know what else to do, because how am I supposed to live and breathe and sleep when it's this hot? So of course I have to use all of those, you know, cooling devices, and I feel like it just keeps giving me this like weird chest, head, coughing situation. Also, I have a friend joining me for this video. Welcome to BookTube. I thought to put some concealer on it, but I was like, why? At the end of my last vlog, which was a summer in Greece, it was like our time basically in Greece, which is already uploaded. You can watch it, I don't know, somewhere up here. I guess I can link it. When I was filming the end of that vlog, I included a book haul, and just as I was editing, the vlog was already about 40 minutes, which, like, if you made it through that whole video, good for you. Gold star. So I felt like it was just gonna be way too long to include the book haul at the end. So I decided I would make it its own video, however, it has like no context and no really good beginning and end. So I'm here just to kind of start it and end it. So I'm back in Tel Aviv at home, and we're in isolation after traveling. So the clip you're about to see, similar to if you watch the last vlog, is actually me and my family's home in Rome, in Italy. So you will see a few books that I bought there now. I went to one big kind of chain Italian bookstore, which had a quite large English section. It's really not practical to buy physical books when you're abroad, because to get them back and forth to places is not fun, or is not like so easy, and it's heavy and sometimes really just not practical. But I just can't find many English print titles where I'm living, so I was just called to buy a few. And we also passed by kind of a used bookstore here in Rome, in the neighborhood that my parents are living, and I'm gonna go back there today because it's all in English, and the guy that works there is British, and he's really funny. He talks on the phone, like, publicly while everyone's in the store. He's just having a full-on conversation. But I'll share with you the ones that I've bought so far. Let's start with the Ferrante. I wanted to buy more Italian literature, but I wasn't familiar with a lot of the authors on the bookshelf, so I didn't kind of know where to start. I mean, I knew of a few names, but I know I've been wanting to really read this. So this is The Days of Abandonment by Elena Ferrante. I think I will really love this, so yeah, I got that one. This compelling novel that shocked audiences in Europe with its unsentimental and unyielding depiction of motherhood, marriage, and solitude tells the story of one woman's headlong descent into what she calls an absence of sense after being abandoned by her husband. Olga's days of abandonment become a desperate, dangerous freefall into the darkest places of the soul as she roams the empty streets of a city that she has never learned to love. Love it. Sounds great. It's a DWM, depressed woman moving, so we love that. I think I'm gonna really love that. Then we saw The Love, Miss Patti Smith. This is M Train, which I have not read. I've read most of her work, but M Train is one of them that I haven't read. And something just really called me about having that book in physical form, with this beautiful photograph of her in a cafe. This is an unforgettable odyssey told through the prism of the cafes and haunts Patti Smith has worked in around the world. It is a book she has described as a roadmap to my life. So I need to read Patti Smith's roadmap to her life, obviously. Photographs inside, and also especially her books always have photos in it, which I think is beautiful, gorgeous, I love it. And on Kindle, it's just not the same. So I I'm really happy that I got this, and whenever I'm in a period of feeling like reading is not inspiring me, or more like I'm not inspired to read anything, I know to turn to a Patti Smith book, and it just lights everything in me. To read and also just to be a person in the world and an artist, so that's M Train. And as a little segue from that is By Night in Chile by Roberto Bolaño. Roberto Bolaño is from Santiago in Chile, and he was born in 1953. He's a very prolific author, one of the most widely regarded Latin American novelists. I'm sure you've heard of his work. This is a skinny little book, which is what drew me to it. That, and then the title, By Night in Chile, which I really love, and I just thought that that was a gorgeous cover. But the major point for me was, other than wanting to read small books recently, Patti Smith refers to Bolaño a lot in many of her pieces. I think that she's a fan of him. So that means I should be a fan of him, I think, or at least familiarize myself with him. So I thought that that was going to be a good one. It's a fever dream kind of thing. There's a priest who is on his deathbed, and in his feverish delirium, the crucial events of his past swell around him. I think there's like some glimpses of Pablo Neruda, which is one of my favorite poets, Chilean landscape. I think that just sounds great, so that one. And then also from, I love these covers actually, from Penguin Vintage Editions. This is Magda Szabo. Magda Szabo is a Hungarian author. Never heard of her until, of course, Rebecca Eats Books. She was talking about Magda Szabo. I'm not sure if she's ever read her, but she mentioned in a video that she's a female author that she has heard of, or heard that she should read, or she wants to get into reading her, and that she's quite dark. So that sounds really good to me. Dark sounds great. Nice cover. Well, the character in this book is named Magda, and she's a young Hungarian writer. So I'm wondering if it's autofiction, or if it's based on her own experience, or if she just put herself in this book. She gets a domestic servant who has a reputation for being like a first-rate housekeeper, and apparently shit hits the fan. This house worker named Amarins has secrets and vulnerabilities beneath her exterior, which will test Magda's friendship and change the complexion of both of their lives irreversibly. And I've read that a few reviews that say that people literally felt like they were changed after this book. So that sounds really good to me. It's a little bit thicker and smaller print than I'm used to, which just intimidates me, but I feel like I want to try it. I told Ohad that I would be filming for like 5 minutes, and now I'm filming for 25 minutes, so I should free up this bedroom for use. After I filmed that clip, I went back to another bookstore and bought 2 more books. I wanted to just share them with you now, and then, yeah, we would have the whole video done. So I went to that bookstore that I mentioned. It's like all English books. I thought it was a used bookstore, which I guess it is because it's reselling many different books. But I don't know what I was like thinking. I thought that they were gonna be more affordable, and they weren't. You know, they were like 13 euros, 14 euros, which just made me think, like, of course there are libraries and audiobooks and digital books that are a bit less expensive, but in general, it just reminds me that reading is still a hobby or an activity that is still not so accessible, which, yeah, I just find kind of unfortunate in some cases. So the 2 books that I got are both skinny books, and one of them I already started out of all of the books that I bought on that trip. So I'm thinking maybe to like read these 2, I don't know, over the next few days and do a reading vlog over like 2 skinny books. I know the tiny book challenge is over. I just was not in a big reading place when that happened, but I do love tiny books, so maybe I'll do that. The first one is The End of Eddy by Edouard Louis. Edouard Louis is an author from France. He's quite young. He was born in 1992. This one is translated from the French by Michael Lucy. I heard about it first by my partner Ohad because he read this in the Hebrew version and he really loved it, was just in awe of him and of this book. And then I saw it in English and I thought that we've never really read the same book in his language and my language and been able to speak about it together. So I thought that that would be a great opportunity for such conversation. And I've been wanting to read more like queer authors. I think it's a novel, but I think it's a piece of autofiction because it's sort of about his life. Edouard Louis grew up in a village in northern France where many live below the poverty line. His best-selling debut novel about life there, The End of Eddy, has sparked debate on social inequality, sexuality, and violence. It is an extraordinary portrait of escaping from an unbearable childhood inspired by the author's own, written with an openness and compassionate intelligence. Ultimately, it asks, how can we create our own freedom? So I won't go into my thoughts on this yet. I'm about 62 pages in because I'm going to save that for a reading vlog. But yeah, so I got that one. And the last book is Strange Hotel by Eimear. I think that's how you say the first name. Eimear McBride. Also a tiny book. It's 150 pages. A woman enters an Avignon hotel room. She's been there once before, but while the room hasn't changed, she's a different person now. Forever caught between check-in and check-out, she will go on to occupy other hotel rooms, from Prague to Oslo, Auckland to Austin, each as anonymous as the last. There, amid the open suitcases, the matchbook, cigarettes, keys, and room service wine, she will negotiate with memory, with the men she sometimes meets, and with what it means to return home. That sounds really interesting. Love the cover. I love a strange hotel room. The last choreography piece I did for like a dance film that I made was called Paradise, and it kind of took place in my head in a few locations, and one being a very strange hotel. So that just was like made for me, I feel like. I think that's gonna be a bizarre, plotless kind of read, which I love. Well, yeah, I'm hoping to read both of these this week. That's all. Thank you much. Thank you much. I hope you made it through this whole weird little video of a journey of a video. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.